In the huge and crowded city of Karachi, where life moves fast and the streets never sleep, there is a story that many people still talk about, a story that begins in the old area of Lyari and follows the life of a boy who later became known as Rehman Dakait. This is not just the story of a man, but the story of a city struggling with poverty, fear, loyalty, and survival. Before the world knew his name, before newspapers and TV channels talked about him, he was simply Abdul Rehman, a young boy growing up in poor and difficult conditions. Lyari was full of culture, music, sports, and strong community bonds. But at the same time it was filled with problems: no proper schools, no jobs, broken roads, and very little help from the government. Children growing up there had to fight every day just to survive. Abdul Rehman was one of those children. He lived in small houses, busy streets, and noisy neighborhoods, where every turn showed him both friendship and danger. As Karachi entered the 1990s, the city became more unstable. Different groups began fighting for power, and crime started spreading fast. Police were weak, politics were messy, and young boys in Lyari were pulled towards street groups because they had no better opportunities. Rehman was just one of them in the beginning. He joined local groups for safety and identity, not knowing how these choices would change his life forever. Slowly, small fights turned into bigger conflicts, and day by day, Rehman's name started appearing in the world of crime. By the late 1990s, police began registering cases against him, and he ran away to Balochistan to save himself. But this time away from Karachi made him stronger instead of weaker. He built new connections, gained influence, and planned to return to Lyari with more power. When he finally came back in the early 2000s, Karachi was already in deep trouble. Different gangs were fighting, the government was losing control, and the people were scared. In this chaos, Rehman rebuilt his group and gathered loyal men who trusted him completely. Step by step, he became one of the most powerful names in Lyari. To the outside world, he was a criminal leader. To many people in Lyari, he was someone who solved their problems when no one else helped them. Some saw him as a threat, others saw him as protection. This mixed reputation made him one of the most talked about people in Karachi. As more violence spread in the city, Rehman's name came up again and again in news reports. Between 2005 and 2009, it felt like every major fight or incident had some connection to him, whether true or not. The media called it the Lyari Gang War, and Rehman became the face of it. The police increased operations, rival groups started attacking, and Karachi entered a very dark period. By 2010, the government decided they had to stop him for good. They followed his movements, tracked his locations, and prepared for a big action. In July 2010, the police announced that they had killed Rehman Dakait in an encounter. The entire city reacted at once. Some people celebrated, thinking peace would return. Others doubted the story, wondering what really happened. In Lyari, many people felt confused, sad, or scared because they did not know what would come next. After his death, new groups tried to take control, and the power struggle continued, showing that the real problem was much bigger than one person. Rehman's life was not just a story of crime, it was a reflection of how poverty, broken systems, and lack of opportunity can change the path of a whole generation. He grew up in a place where children needed protection, where people felt ignored, and where survival often required choosing dangerous paths. His rise showed the weakness of the system, his fall showed the cost of uncontrolled violence. Even today, people argue about who he really was. Some say he was a symbol of the suffering in Lyari. Others say he was responsible for its pain. But everyone agrees that his story changed Karachi forever. In the end, the story of Rehman Dakait teaches us something important. When a society forgets its people, when children grow up without safety, education, or support, the streets become their teachers and power becomes their only language. His story is not told to praise him, but to warn us. It reminds us that until justice, opportunity, and hope reach every corner of a city, new stories like this will continue to rise from the shadows. This is the story of Lyari, the story of Karachi, and a lesson that should never be ignored.